welcome back to World Crisis Radio. Now, in terms of our domestic polity here and what people should be doing, obviously, charity towards prisoners looms very large, right? The 7 acts of corporal charity, this is one of them. So the way you can do that is make a contribution to the Pinckney Defense Fund. We'll be giving you the coordinates of that here in just a minute, in the beginning of our second hour. And send him a Christmas card, right? Send him some kind of a greeting, right? Maybe there are other things. I don't know what those rules are, but you can. We'll be finding them out as time goes on. So therefore, we want to switch gears now. The essential event of 24-25 December goes like this, right? And this is the famous Luke chapter 2, verse 14, right? There were these shepherds abiding in the field, keeping watch over their flocks. And what did they hear? According to the King James Bible, the best we have in the English language, it's glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace, goodwill towards men. Peace. Then the Catholic one, the Douay Reims Confraternity Bible, glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace to men of goodwill. And we also have a very interesting one, the Aramaic Bible, right? In plain English, glory to God in heaven, and upon earth peace, good news to the children of men. Maybe one more. International Standard Version, sort of mainline Protestant. Glory to God in the highest, and peace on earth to people who enjoy his favor. King James 2000. Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace, goodwill towards men. You get the idea. Peace, the Prince of Peace. So do something for peace. And here's my proposal. A campaign on the social media targeting General Allen, and targeting Allen as the centerpiece of a obvious network inside the federal bureaucracy that are constantly pushing Obama towards war. Obama, God knows, is bad enough. He's got his problems. We know them. But the power of the institutions has blunted many of Obama's worst thrusts and actually made him appear increasingly over the past year as a lesser evil, less of a warmonger than those who are attacking him. Of course, on economics, he's still a Wall Street puppet, as we saw this past week, right? He allowed that provision on the FDIC bailouts of derivatives banks. He didn't want to make a fight about that. All right, there are various reasons for that. But still, the people that are attacking Obama are, in general, much worse than Obama himself. So here's the idea. A social media campaign, and it can be something like this. Hashtag Fire Allen for Xmas. Now, the X is the Ch in Greek, right? Christos, XR, right? You get the idea? But something like that. Hashtag Fire Allen for Christmas, Fire Allen, number 4, XMAS, something like this. Peace on Earth, Fire Allen. That's another one. Hashtag Peace on Earth, Fire Allen. The people who are pushing Obama towards war this week, first of all, Allen. We know that Allen, the ISIS czar, fire ISIS czar Allen. That's another one. The ISIS czar Allen is constantly intriguing with Erdogan of Turkey, with the royals of Qatar, and with others, maybe Bandar, I think, different factions of the Saudis, right, in that huge royal family. Allen wants what? He wants to bomb Assad, and he wants to stop attacking ISIS. He wants to preserve ISIS and Nusra and the rest of them. They can be used against Assad today against Iran tomorrow, and they can be shipped into Chechnya in the coming weeks and months, and they can then wage war against Russia. This guy, Allen, has to go. There are now 2-hour-long interviews with Allen on C-SPAN, one from October, one from early December. Take a look at those. This is a dangerous warmonger operative. And the way it works, of course, is Allen and McGurk are in the State Department. They increasingly dominate what the State Department does vis-a-vis the Middle East. And outside, you've got Petraeus, Kravis, and what is called the Special Operations Community, the Special Operations Community. And we've just seen a terrible example of what they have behind them. Yesterday evening in New York City on Lower 6th Avenue, we had Jeremy Scahill, that's shill with an A stuck in as camouflage, with Jeremy Scahill and Glenn Greenwald. And they're of course, their stock in trade is that they don't like those evil Middle East dictators like Assad. They want to support the democratic heroes of the anti-Assad resistance. They cover up for the CIA. They cover up for the Joint Special Operations Command. They live in a dream world, but this is what the foundations are willing to fund. And we were able to point out with the help of some pie charts from Cryptome that of the documents given or supposedly purloined by Snowden, a tiny part, maybe 5% or maybe 0.25% or something like this, has ever been distributed. So they've been hoarded. They're probably more secret in the hands of these people because you can't get them through an FOIA. So actually, whatever these things are, if they took the originals, you'll never see them again. So Allen, we got to figure that Allen is pressing and scheming behind the scenes every minute of every day. He has no purpose except the one assigned to him by Petraeus: start the bombing of Assad. And Obama has said no in public, the famous Brisbane no in November. Do you have a program to overthrow Assad, especially for him? No. And at that point, they've all gone berserk, and they've been berserk. They control the editorial page and the news pages of the Washington Post. So there's one. Now, in the State Department, we have this unfortunate lady, Madame Psaki, P-S-A-K-I, you know her, the redhead. And this past week, Madame Psaki wanted to pull a fast one. She was asked during the State Department briefing, has Obama signed the bill put on his desk by the Congress calling for a new round of sanctions against Russia over Ukraine? And she said, yes, he signed it. This was Tuesday, I believe. And it turned out she was 24 to 36 hours ahead of the curve. It hadn't happened, but she was out there saying it's already done. Now, I think my information now is that Obama did cave, did sign. Obama has just had his press conference here on the Friday afternoon and is on his way out of town. But you get it. He was pushed into this corner, I would say, by somebody like Psaki. Now, he could have used a pocket veto, right? In other words, if Congress leaves town, they're no longer in session, then you simply you don't sign it. And of course, the Supreme Court, the rats cabal now would argue there's no such thing as a congressional recess. There's no pocket veto because they're always in session. No. All right. And now the other one, when the FBI tells you that the DPRK, North Korea, is responsible for the attacks on Sony, we want to know, where's the proof? Where's the proof? We weren't born yesterday. Back in a minute. Welcome back to World Crisis Radio. Webster Tarpley here in Washington, D.C., our Christmas show, our pre-Christmas show. And we're just looking at the significance. It's all about the Middle East. It's all about peace in the Middle East, peace on earth among persons of goodwill. All right. So who's the main threat to that? This Christmas, it's ISIS czar Allen. We want him out. We've certainly got to make sure that the American people know and the world public opinion know that this monstrous design is constantly, these spiders are weaving this web of deceit. And these are the people who are waiting. They're itching for a false flag that they can then use to lift and shift. No more bombing of ISIS, only bomb Assad. That's the goal. Bomb Damascus. Well, that's sort of where Christianity started, right? St. Paul, who organized it on the road, they want to bomb that. So the answer is no, right? You call yourself a Christian, you mobilize. You call yourself a person of goodwill, you mobilize. You call yourself someone of positive impulses. You want to play a positive role in history, you mobilize. Fire ISIS Czar Allen. Fire Allen for Christmas. Fire Allen for Xmas. You get the idea. No to Allen. Oust him. That's the Christmas present the American people and the world and the Middle East actually need. And don't be deterred by these fakers and gatekeepers like the Scahills, the Greenwalds, and the Amy Goodmans. They're in big trouble. But now we have the FBI with their immense credibility. The FBI now tells us that it's confirmed that the North Korean regime hacked into Sony. Well, I'm from Missouri. Show me the proof, FBI. I remember your shenanigans on Wenho Lee, the Atlanta Olympic bombing, the FBI crime lab, not so good there, and on and on. And now we've gone from Mueller, from St. Paul's School, to Comey. And of course, Comey is a torturer. Comey is a graduate of the torture memorandum. So we're going to have the Comey agency tell us what's actually going on in the world. I'm sorry, we're not total fools, are we? We want to see some proof. And I would say that to Obama. Don't believe it. Time to back off. Don't go any further. So I would say those are the three, right? We could easily do a campaign against Psaki. I think people out in the world have been doing that, right? The various international media have actually focused on her quite a bit. I hope that some at least some left liberals or libertarians will come forward and say they don't believe the FBI. That's not exactly a profile in courage to do that. We also should remember, the U.S. was boasting about Stuxnet and Olympic Games, right? The so-called computer viruses that were allegedly introduced into the Iranian computers controlling the Iranian nuclear centrifuges, we're told by the New York Times. Once you start doing that, the golden rule of international relations, whether it's torture or computer viruses or hacking or whatever it is, so whatever you do to the other side will do to you, and they'll be fully justified because you've done it to them and you've even done it to them first. How a country that boasts of shutting down Iranian nuclear centrifuges with Stuxnet could whine when a bunch of Hollywood degenerates and airheads have their emails read? Well, I don't know. There is also this funny question of the overreaction of the Sony, right? Why call off your movie, right? That's a lot of money. Normally they wouldn't do that. The idea seems to be that there are other items in those emails which are so compromising to these Hollywood hypocrites who run the studio. And we're talking about this charming lady, right? Madame Pascal, I think her name is. You got to wonder where that movie came from. Hollywoodism, right? Hollywoodism. We've had some interesting things about it. I've written an essay about that not long ago. There's always this idea, Santa Monica and Hollywood and the branch of the Rand Corporation, which is there, that actually, I guess it's the headquarters of the Rand Corporation. And to what degree the scenario movies coming out of Hollywood, right, The Lone Gunman or The China Syndrome, any number, are actually coordinated with events, and including false flag events happening in the world. Verse 14, right? There were these shepherds abiding in the field, keeping watch over their flocks. And what did they hear? According to the King James Bible, the best we have in the English language. It's glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace, goodwill towards men. Peace. Then the Catholic one, the Douay Reims Confraternity Bible, glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace to men of goodwill. And we also have a very interesting one, the Aramaic Bible, right? In plain English, glory to God in heaven, and upon earth peace, good news to the children of men. Maybe one more. International Standard Version, sort of mainline Protestant. Glory to God in the highest, and peace on earth to people who enjoy his favor. King James 2000. Glory to God in the highest, and send him a Christmas card, right? Send him some kind of a greeting, right? Maybe there are other things. I don't know what those rules are, but we'll be finding them out as time goes on. So therefore, we want to switch gears now. The essential event of 24-25 December goes like this, right? And this is the famous Luke chapter 2. Welcome back to World Crisis Radio. Now, in terms of our domestic polity here and what people should be doing. Obviously, charity towards prisoners looms very large, right? The 7 acts of corporal charity. This is one of them. So the way you can do that is make a contribution to the Pinckney Defense Fund. We'll be giving you the coordinates of that here in just a minute, in the beginning of our second hour. And on earth, peace, goodwill towards men. You get the idea. Peace, the Prince of Peace. So do something for peace. And here's my proposal. A campaign on the social media targeting General Allen. And targeting Allen as the centerpiece of a obvious network inside the federal bureaucracy that are constantly pushing Obama towards war. Obama, God knows, is bad enough.